Savadika, Your Excellency, Minister Pichau, Nariptapan, Kun Supachai, Excellency Chairman of the Global Compact Network in Thailand, business leaders, dear UN colleagues. A warm welcome to the United Nations Conference Center, and a warm welcome to the Global Compact Network Thailand Forum for 2024. Today we bring together distinguished business leaders, policymakers, and the United Nations. It is a true privilege to address you here as this audience, because you are the change makers, the pioneers, the innovators. You are the ones that stand at the forefront of progress, not only for Thailand and its economy, but also redefining the role of business as we see it in a more sustainable, greener world. We have just, as the world, come out of COP29 in Baku, and we saw nations set new goals for where we need to go. Although the Secretary General was quite clear that he had hoped for more, we still see it as an ambitious outcome that the world committed to $1.3 trillion that will be geared towards reaching our commitment. It is clear that we cannot do this without the engagement of private sector. In Thailand, as everywhere else, the government is of course the fundament for allowing a regulatory framework, for allowing stimulus that leads to more direct investment. But as for the investment itself, we know that it is the private sector that leads. 75% of investments over the past year came from private sources in Thailand, and the sector accounted for 90% of the GDP and 90% of the jobs. Moreover, small and medium enterprises make up some 99.6% of all businesses in Thailand. This shows the importance of private sector taking leadership in the green transition, in the just green transition, and making sure that we leave no one behind. Therefore, Kun Supachai, if I may, I am impressed by your leadership of the Global Compact Network here in Thailand. The strength of the GCNT has leveraged private sector leadership fast and has strongly supported the green and inclusive transformation. The GCNT stands out, not only in Asia-Pacific, but globally. And as members, I am impressed, and you should be proud of the work that you're achieving. Dear business leaders in the room today, your commitment, ranging from the 46 billion pledge to accelerate the SDGs, achieving carbon neutrality by 2050, and investing in human capital for 1 million people, have been reinforced not only within your companies, but extended through your entire supply chain. That is making a difference. Today, I want to focus in on 3 specific interconnected themes to focus a bit on what we call drive an inclusive green transition for today and future generations. First, we need to focus on moving on the just transition that leaves no one behind. What we mean by this, and what we see, is that the demand for green skills is accelerating. And already now, there is a shortage of skilled labours in these sectors. But the transition is about more than shifting sustainable practices. It's also about creating opportunities for all, especially those that are at risk of being left behind. Youth, women, persons with disabilities, migrants, and those in vulnerable situations. To achieve a long-term green and inclusive transition, we must focus on education. And I am not talking only about targeting those that have already achieved high marks at the universities. I am also talking about starting early on. Investing in early childhood development, primary schools, and moving through all stages of education, making sure that we can come to harvest the skills that Thailand has as its capacities. We need to early on include dimensions of sustainability and then later on advance the investment as it relates to education and innovations for renewables, low-carbon technologies, and circularity. Those that already are part of the workforce, they must be supported not only through reskilling and upskilling and access to emerging green jobs, but also with a sustainability mindset. This must come across all sectors of society. That is why the sufficiency economy philosophy is at the core of the development in what we do. The second theme is about harnessing technology and innovation for equity. And we see here how an inclusive development cannot succeed without bold investments from the business. We heard how every business can be a platform for learning and what that would lead to, but we see how innovations are transforming businesses. We see it in the rubber, construction, and renewable energy sector, from floating solar farms treating wastewater to low-carbon materials reshaping the construction sector. Thai businesses are proving that sustainable practices and profitability can go hand in hand, just like the children said in the movie. As we just come out of the Summit of the Future in New York, where they underscored the urgent need for private sector investment in science, the SDGs are to be science-based and data-driven. And businesses are uniquely positioned to lead this, not only through the reporting that Khun Supachai was so clearly pointing out to us, but also when it relates to digital knowledge, inclusive and innovative financing mechanism, and of course, the investment and entrepreneurship. GCNT uses emerging technologies such as AI as an opportunity to meet the needs of a green economy and has incorporated the concept of sustainable intelligence into several strategies. We need to leapfrog development. We need to make sure that we use innovation as a common good for all, not an added value for a few. And thirdly, a few words on the importance of unlocking sustainable financing. The United Nations Secretary General made a very clear statement during COP29, where he said, climate finance is not charity, it's an investment. Climate action is not optional, it's an imperative. Achieving inclusive business goals and green transition requires not just a vision and a commitment, but a substantial investment. Thailand has already demonstrated leadership, mobilizing $19 billion for ESG initiatives and planning to issue $3.8 billion sustainability-linked bonds in the fiscal year for 2025. This is a world-class act in making sure that there's finance for sustainability. As the UN, we're also working on advancing carbon markets in partnership with private sector to generate carbon credits that would benefit specifically vulnerable communities throughout the country. By unlocking capital for sustainability, we can pave a way for a greener, more resilient future. Ladies and gentlemen, at the heart of all of this, at the heart of today, lies partnership. The journey to an equitable society cannot be done alone. It requires businesses, government, civil society, and international organizations to come together in a whole of society approach. The partnership between the United Nations and the GCNT exemplifies what is possible when we work together and strengthen our common efforts. To leaders in this room, your actions today will shape the society for tomorrow. So let us seize this moment and build a more equitable, sustainable future where no one is left behind, where innovation drives progress, and where partnership unlocks transformative change. With the 21 United Nations entities that I lead here in Thailand, I know that I speak on behalf of all of us when I say that we look forward to continuing to collaborate with all of you. As the girl said in the movie at the end when she leaned over and whispered to the boy, "Do you think they're going to do it?" I want to answer her, I know that Thailand will do it. I know that the Global Compact Network of Thailand will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.